Zongpo and welcome to another episode of Do You Know Your Child? I'm your host Choni. As a parent, it is important to communicate with your child. The conversation should flow both ways though. When you listen to your child, you will get to know them and you will learn about their friends, their favorite activities, and what makes them happy or sad. Let's take a look at last week's commitment.
The last time I came to the show, Do You Know Your Child? I committed to spend more time with my daughter and also to help her with her reading habit. So since then, we have been spending quite a lot of time together. Whenever we have time, especially during the weekends, we spend time together, going for long walks and also doing household chores together. So she helps me with cooking sometimes. At other times during the weekdays, I help her with her homework and also let her read during the night time. So I think we are doing pretty good on that commitment.
I would like to thank Do You Know Your Child program and Titan for this beautiful watch.
Successful grieving after an untimely death of a loved one is an extremely difficult task. It is difficult to accept that someone dear to you has left you. Adults and children alike must realize that painful things happen. It is impossible to love someone without getting hurt. Let's see which family we have today.
This is my world, my lovely family. He's my son, Tenzin. He's 2 years old, and she's his elder sister, Tenzin. She's studying in Jigme Namgyal Lower Secondary School in class 5. As you can see, one of the most important family members is missing today, and she is my beloved wife. Unfortunately, she passed away almost a year ago due to her illness. We miss her every moment, every single day, and without her, particularly for me, I have been very handicapped, and without the support of my parents, I would not have known what to do, especially because I have such a small kids at the moment, and my parents have been quite supportive and they have taken very good care of her 24/7, and I would never be able to repay their kindness, not for the fact that they have helped at this moment only, but from the very small age only, when I was they have made a big sacrifice, and at this old age also they have been making continuous sacrifices. So I'm quite thankful to them.
Let's welcome our first participant, Mr. Jimmy Tenzin, and ask his daughter Chimi Peldon Tenzin later the same questions and tally their answers. Welcome to the show. And my first question to everybody who comes here is, do you know your child?
Before I answer your question, I would like to thank BBS for letting me be the part of most wonderful show that is going around at the moment. And for this particular opportunity, I would like to give credit to my daughter, who has been insisting me to be part of this program for a very long time, but somehow not been able to come forward because of my recent incident. But nevertheless, I'm very happy and I'm proud to be part of this program. And to come to your question, I would like to admit that I do not claim to know my child, everything about my child, but I would like to think that I know something about her. Yeah.
You go to work, you come back from work, and then what's the schedule like?
Compared to my earlier days, recent period, it has changed dramatically. But nevertheless, while I'm in office, I'm completely occupied with the works. But once I'm back home, I feel quite happy to be with my kids and then to see their smile. And it makes me immensely happy that they're happy with whatever has happened, or they're coping up.
Yes. So this incident that you're referring to, please, if you could elaborate and tell us about it a little?
Almost a year that I lost my beloved wife. She had been ill for almost a year, and despite our concerted effort to give the medical treatment and whatever we could do in our capacity, her parents, everybody who loved her, including her friends, we have tried our best. But nevertheless, fate, she had this unfortunate, and no matter how strong she had been, she ultimately lost her battle in the life. And, yeah.
And you had to deal with it, and then you also had to make sure your children dealt with it. How did you manage to do that?
Our marriage, it has been more than 10 years. And then when I look back, every moment I look back at how our marriage has been, and then I somehow feel that though our years, in terms of number of years, it has been over 10 years, but when I actually look back, I kind of realized that I have not been able to spend the quality time with her, in the sense that I have been working, she has been working, and then other times I have been out for studies. We have been quite away from each other. And then actually when I look at it, we have actually spent hardly about 3-4 years together. And when I realized that, I really feel sad, because I have not been able to give complete time to the one that I loved dearly. And now her absence have only made me realize that how much I love her more.
I see.
Yeah.
And how are the children dealing with it?
For the younger one, I think he's
Two-year-old.
not having a much problem, in the sense that he's just 2 years old. And when she passed away, I mean, she was over a year only. For the elder one, I think she's being matured beyond her age, in the sense that instead of me trying to console her, she has been the main support system, whereby she tries to console me, and every time I goes away from her in other room, she comes quietly after me to ensure that I don't break down. And even if I do, then she somehow tries to encourage me. So in that sense, I really find her quite mature beyond her age.
After an incident like that, as a father, I feel like you feel pressured to look composed, gather everything, and put up a picture that you are okay, you're okay looking after the 2 children that your wife left behind. But have you ever had a chance to let all that feeling go and like express whatever you were feeling? Were you able to ever let go and just relax and feel whatever, let yourself feel whatever you wanted to feel?
Normally in front of kids, I don't do that, because in front of them, I want to be as strong as possible, as strong as they want their father to be. But when there's no one around, I just break down. I look at the pictures around the wall, and then somehow I'm not able to control, and then I break down, and then I let no one see.
What was the one thing, when your wife left you, what was the one thing that made you continue your life as usual as possible?
There are many things. During the last phase of her life, she has shown me how to be strong. I knew what she was going through. Every minute of her day, she was fighting with her life. She had immense courage, bravery, and then that she was doing to show. She, till the last moment, she didn't lose her hope. And she had always, by the way, she was referred outside Bhutan. She had undergone treatment in Vellore. And there we were, 2 of us, we had spent about 3 months together. And thereafter, when she was getting critical, her sister, then parents came gradually. And then before that, like I said before, we hardly spent time with each other. Yes. But there we were spending 24 hours together. And I realized that even 24 hours was not enough for me to like really be her support system. Yeah. I thought that if they were beyond that hours, I would be more than happy to be by her side. Yeah. And she was somehow telling me what she had actually from inside. Somehow she was realizing that it was her disease was not improving, but she was constantly telling me, if fate had some other choice, you be strong for the kids. They are very small. So whatever happened to me, it has the course of the fate. So I'll accept it without any complaint. She was basically smiling, whatever the circumstances was, she was smiling only. And then somehow she gave me the courage to go on. But as I look back, then I was thinking that we should have found out her disease way before.
Yeah.
But since we thought that it could be a minor disease, somehow we had a tendency to think that it was a minor sore throat. But she had a nasal, they call it in medical term, NKT lymphoma. That is a kind of cancer.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's related to throat.
It was throat, but major part was nose, nasal. Yeah.
Okay, I see. All right. Well, I am really glad you could talk about this because I know a lot of our viewers would learn so much from this, and this is a very sensitive issue. So I really appreciate you feeling comfortable talking about it, and I hope a lot of our viewers are learning a lot from, especially about death. It especially makes me weird. I don't know how to react to it. So I know a lot of the people out there are confused and would love to see some exemplary figures and stories of how one deals with it. So now let's move on with the game show. Before we dive into the questions, let me explain to you the rules. I'll ask you 10 questions about your daughter, and then later on I'll have your daughter come here and I'll ask the same 10 questions to her, then tally the answers, and that'll be your score.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions, you can raise your hand and call out anytime. All right, question number 1. What is your daughter's favorite toy?
Actually, she has quite a number of collections, but among them, I think her favorite one is Barbie.
Barbie, okay, all right. Question number 2, favorite restaurant?
Okay.
Do you guys go out often?
Not that often, but normally when she is interested, I take her out.
I see.
And usually we visit, I don't remember the name, but
Where is the location?
it's clear. It's the heart of the town only.
The zone?
Rice ball, and not the zone, rice ball.
bowl.
And she's quite fond of pizza, so I take her to Seasons. That heart,
Okay.
yeah.
So rice bowl and the seasons, right? All right. Question number 3. What is her favorite food?
Local food, she takes rice and emadasi.
She can
Yeah.
take ematasi, all right.
Yes.
And what about other food?
Other food, she loves pizza
Okay.
and mushroom patty.
Okay, all right. Mushroom patty, pizza, and rice with ematasi.
Yes.
All right. Question number 4. What was her percentage in her last exam?
Somewhere between 70 to 75.
70 to 75, all right. Question number 5. How often do you have arguments with your daughter where you don't agree on the same thing?
Quite occasionally,
Okay.
but it is not that major, not on the major issue,
Yeah.
on the slightly nitty-gritty things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just
So-
feels comfortable saying no, Dad.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
obviously.
All right. When was the last time you cooked a meal together, and what was it?
Few weeks back, normally now I'm completely dependent on my parents. After my wife passed away, they are here with me. So normally now everything they do for us, and then so whenever she asks me, so recently I cooked for her French fries.
French fries.
Yes.
All right. Easy
For
to
her,
make.
yes.
All right. Question number 7. Does your daughter collect anything?
She collects the plastic bottles.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then apart from that, she's quite interested in the fashion designing. So she has a collection of few clothes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Question number 8. What kind of fashion does she like? What is she into? What does she like to wear?
She likes usually that summer wear, the garments, that skirt and all.
I see. Okay. What color is your daughter's blanket?
Pink, and then sometimes she uses the blue one also.
Okay,
So pink and blue.
Question number 10. Would your daughter know who the Prime Minister of Bhutan is?
I would like to believe she does because she occasionally tells about the leaders of certain countries.
I see.
So I believe she
She
knows
does
about
know. All right.
Bhutan.
With this, you have completed all the 10 questions. Now we're going to have your daughter come over. All right. We finished talking with the father. Now it's the daughter's turn. Welcome to the show, Chimi. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Tenzin. I am in class 5B. My school's name is Chiminamgil Law Secondary School.
Okay. So you're in class 5, right?
Yes.
How many classmates do you have?
About 42 or 43.
42. All right. Do you get along with all of them?
Yes.
Anna, tell me, what is one good thing about being in class 5? or one bad thing? It can be either a good thing or a bad thing.
I love to stay in class 5 because it is very interesting.
It's interesting. You get to learn new things, right? But you know what? The secret is when you go to class 6, you'll feel the same way about being in class 6. So it's good, right? All right. Well, to me, what just happened was I asked your dad 10 questions about you. Now I'm going to ask the same 10 questions to you, too. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions? All right, we're going to start then. What is your favorite toy?
My favorite toy is Barbie.
Favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant is Hotel Musk.
Hotel Musk. What do you like to eat in Hotel Musk?
French fries.
French fries, all right. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food is rice and that's it.
What was that?
Imadatsi.
Why are you so shy with imadatsi? I think this is very brave, huh? Because I know a lot of kids who go to the 5th grade and they can't take spicy or hot food. How did you learn to eat spicy food?
I started when I was in class.
Baby, so you started young, so your tongue got used to it, right? It's very easy. I love spicy food. I know, I learned it when I was a kid. It's easier that way. All right. Question number 4. What was your percentage in your last exam? So last year's exam.
70 or 75.
70 or
75.
75. Am I correct? 70 or 75? Okay. Question number 5. How often do you have disagreement or argument with your father?
Only sometimes.
Sometimes. Is it more often sometimes or not so often sometimes?
Not so often.
Not so often, but sometimes. How do you disagree with your dad? When do you disagree?
When I don't listen to him.
When you don't listen to him. All right, good. Question number 6. When was the last time your dad cooked you a meal? And what did he cook?
Last year.
So what did he make?
Imadatsi.
Imadatsi. All right, it was last year. All right. Question number 7. Do you collect anything? Do you collect and save anything?
Money.
You save money? All right. What else do you collect?
Nothing.
Nothing. Just money. So how much do you have now? No, you're not going to tell me. All right. So you don't collect stamps or dolls or coins or anything?
I collect dolls.
You collect dolls. How many dolls do you have?
7 or 8.
7 or 8. Wow, that's a lot, huh? Why do you need 7 or 8 dolls?
It's interesting to play with them.
Okay, all right. What kind of clothes do you like to wear?
Skirts, gowns, t-shirts.
Okay, all right. Question number 9. What color is your blanket?
Blue.
Blue, all right. Question number 10. Would you know who the Prime Minister of Bhutan is? Who is he?
Tshering.
All right. Well, you've finished answering all the 10 questions, and now we're going to take a look at the scores, though. You ready?
Yes.
All right. What is your daughter's favorite toy?
Barbie.
Barbie.
Favorite restaurant?
Seasons.
Hotel Musk.
What is her favorite food?
Rice and imadatsi.
Imadatsi.
What was her percentage in her last exam?
70 to 75.
70 or 75.
How often do you have arguments with your daughter?
Quite occasionally.
Sometimes.
When was the last time you cooked a meal together, and what was it?
So recently I cooked for her French fries.
Imadatsi.
Does your daughter collect anything?
She collects the plastic bottles.
Money.
What kind of fashion does she like?
Skirt.
Skirts, gowns, t-shirts.
What color is your daughter's blanket?
The blue one also.
Blue.
Does your daughter know who the Prime Minister of Bhutan is?
She knows about.
DZONGKHA.
We now have the scores, and your dad has scored 8 out of 10. Is that a good score?
Yes.
Yes, right? Most definitely. The second question, your dad said your favorite restaurant would be Rice Bowl or Seasons, the pizzeria, right? But you said you like Musk. So who's correct? You or your dad?
Dad.
Dad. Which one? Do you like Rice Bowl or Seasons?
Seasons.
You like Seasons better? All right, okay. But I can't give you the mark because you gave me Musk as your answer, right? So 1 mark away for that. When was the last time your dad cooked a meal? Your dad said fries. He said it was just a couple of weeks ago, and he said he made you French fries. And you said imatati, right? Now who's correct again?
I don't know.
So you seriously forgot. But what about you? Do you remember which one was the sooner one? The later one?
The French fries one.
French fries.
Yeah,
okay,
she's quite fond of this potato, French fries, then mashed potatoes.
I see, all right. Is that true? Could be. All right, you still choose not to remember it, right? So with those two, your score rounds up to 8. 8? Only 2. And that too, I think your dad answered correctly, while you decided you go a year behind, right? But anyways, 8 is great. It rhymes. 8 is great, right?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at these questions and answers, do you have any kind of realization of conclusions that you want to draw that would become your commitment?
Every moment that I spend, I somehow think that it is quite less. So more time I spend with them, I look forward to spend more time.
Yeah.
But somehow, because of social obligation, official work, I'm not able to spend. But more time I get, I want to spend as much as possible with them. So looking at the score that we are having, I still think that I should be knowing her better. And then I'll do my best to know more about her.
I see.
Yes.
What about you? Your dad says he's committed to spend more time with you, right? What about you? Do you have any commitment towards your dad? Do you want to? No, wow. All right. So that is the answer, no. And you don't have to, because you seem to be doing great. Your dad, you seem to be talking a lot to your dad, because of which he is able to answer so well here. So that is very good. Now we're going to go to the section where we will have you read your letters to each other, okay? We'll start with your dad first.
My dear Phuntsho, so I call her Phuntsho affectionately. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to show how much I know you. I must confess, I don't claim to know everything about you, yet whatever little I know of you, it gives me immense joy and pride to have you as my darling daughter. In every true sense of the word, you and your little brother are the greatest gift of my life, and I promise you both that I shall do what it takes to be worthy of such an amazing gift. Phuntsho, over the period, you have grown beyond your age, and I'm thankful to you for taking very good care of me whenever I falter. I love you a lot, and lots. Your Appa.
Oh, so Phuntsho, it's your turn now. All right. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Phuntsho, what is that supposed to mean?
Adorable.
Adorable in?
Yeah. In Chacho.
Dear Daddy, I love you so much. You're the best dad in the world. I will make you proud by studying hard. I will fulfill your every dreams. Love you always, Chhoden.
So who helped you write the letter?
Myself.
You wrote yourself. I can tell. It's very intimate and very short. In that large piece of paper, I saw 2 lines. All right. With this, we have come to the favorite part of the show. This is personally from Tenzin to you, all right? Here, so I'll just keep it in front of you, though. You can grab it in the end. You're lucky to have a second book here. I bet you haven't read this now, because this is a very new book from Early Childhood Care and Development, Ministry of Education, that is. So I hope you enjoy it. It's titled I Am Champion For, and you'll find it out yourself what you're a champion for, all right? The final gift that we have. Wow, we're piling up on gifts, huh? This is fun, and they're all for you. sad for your father, but definitely share this book with your brother too, okay? So this is from Titan, all right? You can open it. You're welcome. What's your reaction? Do you like it? It's good. What was your favorite color? Purple. All right, it's close to purple, right? It's pink. It starts with the same letter too. So, are you wearing a watch right now? So, you have a new watch to show off, and you can definitely swag it off. All right, show it off. Well, thank you so much, Shimi, for bringing your father to the show. We have come to the end of the show, and I really appreciate you and your father coming to the show, taking out all of that time, despite the really bad weather, right? Thank you so much, La.
Thank you. Thank you. It has been a complete pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Loving adults might not want children to hurt and may therefore disguise the truth about death. In an effort to protect children, adults may actually do them harm. Children are exposed to death regularly and need continued education from adults to understand all that death entails. Many things influence children's views on death. Age, religion, belief, cultural or ethnic values, and their relationship to the deceased person are important factors that affect their understanding. The reactions of surviving parent or caregiver are of primary importance. However, determining how children will cope with death. Children, like adults, differ widely in their reactions to death. They are not, however, small adults. They have their own distinct ways of perceiving reality and viewing the world. Understanding how children conceptualize death with the context of their respective age ranges may help parents and caregivers in coping with this process. Please come back next week, and if you would like to be a part of this show, and if you have any suggestions or feedback, please email us at parenting@bbs.bt. Thank you, and bye-bye.